Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Daria and today I will be talking to you and giving you tips about smashing the interview. First of all, if you secured an interview, well done. That means your CV and your application were great and they match the job description and what the company is looking for really well. So now that you're through to this stage, what should you do? In this video, I'll split it into 3 things: what you should be doing before, during and after the interview. So let's start with before. The first thing that will spring to anyone's mind will be research. And yes, you need to research everything. Research the company, research the industry. Also think about you and reflect on what you've done before. And it might be a good idea to research the people who will be interviewing you if you have this opportunity. So, how should you go about researching the company? What I usually start off with is looking on just doing a quick Google search. And this will tell me about the stock value and the background information, including the CEO, which might be just questions that they will start the interview off with. So please do know this basic but important information. Then I will click on the company's website, and this is a great way of finding out more about the company, also about their values and the culture, which is so important during the interview, and knowing how you can apply yourself and whether you would fit in. So do reflect back on the culture and or on the values, whether they are the right fit for you. From there, go onto the news section of the company's website, and here you can see the main news stories affecting the company and the industry. We'll talk about this later as well. Now I usually move on to the social media, so LinkedIn is usually my best bet. I'll go on the company and look on their LinkedIn profile, see what news stories they're posting about, and get a better breadth of information about what's happening and what's affecting the industry and the company. From here, I will be probably satisfied with my research. I might read more news stories about what's happening, and this leads me to the second point: research the industry, the trends, and any news that might be affecting it. So you can then apply this information to some common interview questions, such as what has recently happened that might have a long-term impact on this company. What do you think the impact will be? And obviously no one knows, but they're looking into how you can think critically and summarize the information you've been reading about, and they can check that you have been staying on top of news and thinking about the long-term effects, and that you have been actively learning and thinking about new scenarios and what could be happening in the future. So this is really important, and I just suggest looking on any news stories, or like I previously said, look on the company's website or the LinkedIn profile. If it's a financial institution, do look at some common financial newspapers, or so things like Financial Times or The Economist are great to summarize important information. Also, LinkedIn is important to look at the people interviewing you. So if you do know who will be interviewing you, I would suggest quickly looking at them up on LinkedIn, and this will allow you to find out what their career journey has been, and allow you to ask more specific and personalized and thoughtful questions during the interview. For example, how they got from one role to another, what the transition was like, what skills were required. It shows that you have been researching and you really want to find out more about them. And this is great, and also allows you to familiarize yourself with those people. So when you see them, you have those questions behind your belt and you feel more secure and comfortable. So this brings me on to research about yourself, reflecting on your past experiences. This is probably the most important point. Please, please, please do prepare your answers. Do have a few really important experiences or previous jobs, societies, some things, your unique selling points that spring to mind. Please prepare them and please write them in an interview question answer manner. So I would suggest just going on Google and looking for common interview questions. Make a Word document, put those questions down and think of answers. They can't just be bullet points, but it will make you start thinking about the answers, and then when it comes to an interview, you will already know what you will be talking about, and the conversation and your answers will be so much more not prepared, but they will be more fluent. You will know what you're talking about, and you will feel more comfortable yourself, because you will know, yes, I know this answer, even if it's not the same, but you will know what you will be talking about. So that makes you feel more relaxed and just gives you the confidence during the interview, which is really important to feel. Before the interview, I do suggest practicing. So like I said, you can do write things down on paper, but do ask your friends or family, or if you're still at school or university, a careers advisor to do a interview with you, a practice interview. Once you've told them the industry, they can prepare some questions, and you can get more comfortable with talking about yourself and your experiences and actually answering the questions and not just making things up on the spot. This will make you feel more prepared, and maybe some questions can come up again during the actual interview. So it's a great way of preparing yourself. Do use any information that the employer has provided you with. So maybe they have told you what kind of question style they will be asking you in. So it might be behavioral, or it might be competency based, or maybe strengths based. So these are 3 different styles. There might be more, but these are really common. For example, strengths based is more about what you enjoy doing rather than what you could be doing or what the company wants you to be doing. Employers are moving more towards the strengths based style, because they want to find out whether you're actually the right fit and you enjoying what you will be doing during your role. Behavioral questions are also common. This is showing behaviors that the employer will be looking for in your past experiences. So do think about what you've shown and whether this will match your job description when you're preparing for an interview. There are different methods of answering questions, and one of them for behavioral questions is ATOLA. So first of all is actions. This is the brief description of the background of the situation. Then thinking. Why did you decide to tackle the situation with your response? 3 is outcome, what you've achieved. 4, learning, what you've learned, what went well and what hasn't. And 4th, application. So how have you applied what you've learned from it in the future? And this is a really good way of just summarizing what you've done, and it will make easier for the employer to write down your answers during the interview. When you enter with a smile and do shake the interviewer's hand. Please try being confident and being positive and friendly. Your energy is a lot. The interviewer will decide whether they want to hire you or not within the first few minutes, and then it's just about confirming the decision. So it's important how you come across first. Please dress appropriately in the way you feel comfortable and fitting in the situation. Do look into the interviewer's eyes and listen to when they're asking you a question. If you can't think of an answer straight away, do say, just give me a minute to think about it. they are more than happy to do that, and it's better for you to think about your answer before saying it, and come up with something good and a good example, rather than just rushing into the answer and not even answering the question properly. So think about your answers, and please don't make stuff up, because it's pretty obvious, and if they continue asking you about it, it will come out in the end and it doesn't look good. Also remember, an interview is a two-way process. You're here to find out more about them as well. So please do ask them questions. I would recommend them being prepared beforehand, so they're not just obvious questions which you can just find out by looking at the job description, but rather, if you found out there will be a learning module during this program, ask more information about it, or just show your interest, show that you're the right fit for the company and that you're interested and want to learn, and that's my tips during the interview. Just please show them that you're interested and you actually want this job. If you do, if you don't, just don't go to the interview. After the interview, seek feedback. Even if you are successful, it's always good to know what you could have done better and what you've done well, so you can continue doing it in the future. I hope you found this video useful, and if you have, please like this video and subscribe. I will be producing more employability and productivity based videos, and please stay tuned. I hope you have found this information useful.